Desire has a voice all its own. Everyone has an undeniable pull. Sometimes it burns with intensity. Other times it lingers quietly, but it's always real. Some people shift the air in a room just by existing. Others stay silent, and you can't help but lean in, drawn toward them. This power isn't about what you reveal, it's about what you keep hidden. And that's where the allure begins. Ready to discover which desire archetype lives inside you? Are you the flame, the sweet trap, the mirror, or the siren? In just 6 questions, you might uncover a side of yourself you've never seen before. Go with your instinct, no second guessing. Let's dive into the mystery of your hidden power. Imagine you're sitting here, no one around. The wind is soft, but your emotions feel heavy. You're not waiting for someone to show up. You're waiting for someone who truly sees you. Some feelings you can't put into words, but you know they've always been there. Now choose the version of you that feels the most real. Don't rush to answer. Feel it first. Are you teasing love or hiding from it? One, when you're around someone you like, what's your first instinct? 2, how do you feel about physical touch? 3, when choosing what to wear, what matters most? 4, what's your biggest fear in a romantic connection? 5, if you suddenly became the center of attention at a party, you would. 6, which of these lines speaks to you the most? 'That's it. Tally up your total score. Now let's find out which desire archetype lives inside you.
There's something about you that pulls people in, not because you show too much, but because you show just enough to wonder. You don't try to be mysterious. You just learned somewhere along the way that silence is safer. You're calm, composed, maybe even a little cold. At least that's what people think. But behind that calm is a quiet voice that whispers, "Can I be loved if I never ask?" You don't rush into connection. You watch, you wait, you listen, and then, maybe, you open up. But even then it's hard, because your feelings don't just hide, they bury themselves so deep, even you forget they're there sometimes. You've been the one who cared too much before. You've given your whole heart, only to be met with silence. So now, you protect it, with distance, with logic, with cool detachment. You say, "I'm fine," when what you really mean is, "Please just stay, even if I'm quiet." You're not heartless, you're just practiced. You don't reveal need because you've been taught that needing is dangerous. So you wait, you observe, you mirror. People want to be near you, but they can't quite reach you, and deep down, part of you hopes, maybe one day, someone will see through the quiet and still stay. I don't need someone to break down my walls. I need someone patient enough to wait by the door.
You seem soft, irresistibly sweet, easy to crave. But no one should mistake that softness for simplicity. You're the type who doesn't need to shout to be seen. Your desire is wrapped in layers, a playful smile, a glance that lingers just a second too long. The way your presence makes people feel safe, but also slightly dizzy. You don't chase attention. It naturally finds you. And when it does, you know how to lean in just enough to leave them wanting more. You offer intimacy like a secret treat. Not loud, not forced, but unforgettable. People come close thinking they've found something easy to unwrap, only to realize you're more complex than they imagined. Your sweetness is real, but it's not naive. You know when to give and when to pull away. You sense when someone's here for your light, or when they just want the sugar without seeing the soul. In love, you long to be understood beyond the surface. You're not just someone to adore, you're someone to feel. And you ache when others only stay on the skin of things, never daring to taste what's underneath. You don't need to perform, you don't need to dominate, you seduce without trying, because your presence carries emotion, memory, and mystery. I'm not here to impress you, I'm here to make you feel something you'll never forget.
You're not attraction, you're ignition. You don't wait for desire, you create it. You lean in, you raise the temperature. You dare someone to match your fire. You don't hide your longing, you make it part of the experience. Every glance, every pause, every is a calculated burn. But here's the secret. That fire, it's not just for show, it's your shield. You draw people in, then push them away just before they get too close. Because being truly seen feels like losing control. You're strong, magnetic, intense. But inside, there's a part of you that's still a kid, afraid of being hurt, afraid of not being enough. You are attraction on your own terms. You know when a connection is starting and when it needs to end. You're both the spark and the silence after. People may say you're playing games, but you know, only those who care deeply try to stay in control. You reach first because you're afraid of being left behind. You touch first so no one can see you're shaking hands. You flirt like it's a game, but inside you're just hoping someone will stay long enough to learn how to hold your fire without getting burned. You'd rather be misunderstood as dangerous than exposed as fragile. You say, this is just who I am, but maybe, just maybe, you're waiting for someone to reply, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere.
You're not just a person, you're a feeling, a fantasy, a mood. You know exactly how to draw someone in, just close enough to crave you, never close enough to keep you. You love being desired, but fear being claimed. You're not the girl who chases, you're the one who makes them want to be chased. You don't say, I miss you. You whisper, why haven't you come to find me yet? And just like that, they're hooked. You're not asking for love. You're creating the illusion of love. You master the vibe, drop the hints, play the part, and they think it's their idea to fall. You know exactly when to pull away, right when they think they finally have you. Ambiguity isn't a problem for you. It's a strategy. You love that moment of, does she like me, or am I imagining it? That's your power, because if they're unsure, they're obsessed. You're in control, but your cards are close to the chest. Because the second you feel too much, you'll lose the upper hand, and that terrifies you. Your magic lies in being almost attainable, so close, so tempting, so impossible. But here's the truth no one sees. Behind the tease, the performance, the perfect lines, you're lonely. They fall for a version of you that isn't fully real, and deep down, you're aching for something that is. You want to be loved. Not for the fantasy, but for the real you beneath the act. You don't want to be the illusion forever. You want someone to look past the game and choose to stay anyway. I didn't make you addicted. You wanted to be. I wasn't trying to control you. I just didn't want you to leave.